I want to try to يعني مش راح نلحق بحصة واحدة نراجع كل المادة. طيب Earth's water, lesson 1 is water cycle. Go to page, طيب water cycle, lesson 1. يلا go to page, this is page 146 please, 146. طيب Earth is called what? The water planet. Why? Because most of Earth is covered with water. Water is everywhere on planet. It surrounds you all time, not just when you are bathing or swimming. يعني water is found on land, water in air, found in air as water vapor. It's found in oceans, in rivers, in lakes, in streams, and it's also found under the ground. So water also surrounds you in your classroom, in your home, even in the desert. Okay, that means because water is in the air, in the groundwater, under the ground, and everywhere. So water, the planet Earth is called the water planet because most of Earth is covered with water. طيب. Okay, it is important to understand that water vapor and okay, this is a comparison between water vapor and what? Steam. What is the difference between water vapor and steam? The water vapor is different from the steam. They are not the same thing. Water vapor is usually at the same temperature as the air around it. This is the first difference, that water vapor is usually at the same temperature as the air around it. Steam, however, is above air's temperature. Okay, steam is created when water boils. طيب, what you see as steam is actually tiny water droplets formed when hot water vapor meets the cool air in the room. Okay, now, movement of Earth's water. Now, on this page, we are going to talk about water cycle. The movement of water on Earth is called water cycle because water on Earth constantly moves. Water on Earth is not stopping, it's always move. Water on Earth constantly or always moves in a cycle. What is a cycle? In general, a cycle, a series of events or processes that repeat. For example, when we say plant cycle, plant life cycle, or animal life cycle, it is a group of events or a series of events or processes that repeat. طيب. Water also has a cycle. As it moves, water can change into any of its forms. Water vapor is a gas, liquid water that we drink it, and ice or solid. So in a water cycle, the water can move or change from water vapor, liquid water, and ice. So what is the meaning of water cycle? It is the continuous movement of water on Earth. The continuous movement of water on Earth. And as I told you that water cycle has three processes: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. The first thing, or the first part, or the first process in the water cycle, when water evaporates from bodies of water, from land, even from your body. And when water evaporates, it's changed from liquid water to water vapor. Okay. Two of the processes of water cycle are evaporation and condensation. Ocean water changes to water vapor when the water heats. When water not only ocean water. When water gains heat or gains energy, it changes to water vapor, from liquid to water vapor. So evaporation is the process of changing liquid water into water vapor. Heat causes air to rise, carrying water vapor as part of it. طيب. Now what happens to water vapor after when water evaporates? What happens after this? Heat causes air to rise, carrying water vapor as part of it. At higher altitudes or at higher elevation, when water vapor becomes high in the atmosphere, what happens to the air? Temperatures cools. The air temperatures are lower, so water loses, or water vapor loses energy and cools and changes to liquid water or condense. So this change from water vapor, when water vapor changes to liquid water, it is called condensation. So we can say that condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Now, when water vapor condense or change to liquid and changes to liquid water, clouds are formed. So clouds are drops of liquid formed from cooled water vapor. When water vapor condenses, it changes to liquid water and form drops of water. These drops collect together to form the clouds. طيب. Whenever you look at the sky every day, you can see clouds. طيب. These clouds, what happens to the clouds? These two pages show the water cycle. Notice that it is evaporation. Let's start from here. Water evaporates from the oceans or from land or whatever. As water evaporates, liquid water changes into water vapor. Then it condenses. In cold air, water vapor condenses into liquid water or icy crystals. Droplets of water combine with other droplets and form a clouds. So clouds are made up of water droplets or water drops. Okay, then wait a minute.
بس بدي أحكي شغلة بس بصير.
تفضلي رانيا.
هلا لما تكون الشمس مسلطة عليها على طول، يعني فوقها على طول، مش لما تكون كيف أحكي لك يعني مش لما تكون زايحة هيك. لما تكون هيك تكون الأكثر شمس، وتكون المي أحمر لما تكون هيك الشمس، صح؟
لا أكيد. شوفي رانيا، يعني when the sun shines، يعني if the sun is shining and it is directly, yes, whenever the sun is direct on something, it will heat, it will heat strongly or more or quickly, of course. And if the sun is apart, of course, or the sun is not as strong, like now today, for example, the sun is shining, but there are a lot of clouds. So the sun, then in general, in winter, the sun is not as strong as in summer. Okay, bye. And finally, the water drops or water droplets from the clouds fall into earth as precipitation. Precipitation include not only rain. Precipitation means rain, snow, hail, and so on. Precipitation, what is the definition or what is the meaning of precipitation? It is water that falls from clouds in the form of rain, sleet, snow, or hail. All of these are forms of precipitation. This is the water cycle. So the water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Again, evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Energy and water cycle. The sun, the water cycle without energy will not continue. This energy comes from the sun. The sun provides the energy that makes the water cycle work. Suppose that there is no sun. So how can water evaporate? For water to evaporate, or liquid water to evaporate and change to water vapor, it must gain energy. This energy comes from the sun or provided by the sun. So the sun heat or the sun's heat causes frozen water to melt and surface water to evaporate. Heat also causes winds to blow and the wind moves the clouds. So energy is something very important in the water cycle because it causes frozen water to melt, liquid water to evaporate, and it makes or causes winds to blow and carry clouds. Right. So finally, water in clouds falls as precipitation, which is water that falls as rain, snow, sleet, or hail, and the cycle continues. By the way, this cycle is not, it will never stop from the beginning of life on earth, and it will continue until the end of life. Water cycle never stop. This cycle has been happening as long as earth has had water. Look, this cycle has been happening as long as earth has had water, soon after its formation. So millions of years ago, there was a water cycle. And millions of years later, there is a water cycle. The water that dinosaurs drank has been recycled millions of times through the processes of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. طيب. By the way, the water cycle is always the same. Millions of years ago and now, the water cycle is the same. Evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. طيب. Earth's fresh water, lesson 2 is talking about Earth's fresh water. Okay, you have to know that nearly uh, three-fourths or 70 three-fourths of Earth is covered by water. Most of Earth's surface is covered by water, but not all of this water is fresh. Only a very small amount of that water is fresh water. What is the meaning of fresh water? That is, fresh water has nothing or little amount of salts. The fresh water that is necessary or important for living things, especially humans. We can't drink salt water. We only need fresh water. Animals need fresh water. Plants need fresh water. Humans need fresh water. So only a very small amount of all water on Earth is fresh, while the majority of Earth's water is salty. Now in this page or in this picture, we see that how is water distributed over Earth. Notice that 97.5, look, all of this water in blue color is salt water. Okay, 96.5 in the oceans, 96.5% of water in oceans, it is salty, and 1% other saline water. The word saline means salty water. So most of water on Earth is salt water. 97.5% of water on Earth is saline. What is the meaning of saline? It is salt water.
أستاذ not saline.
ايش؟
not saline.
هيا salty يعني salt water saline. Okay?
بابا أستاذ هاي 1.0 other saline water.
Look here. 2.5% is fresh water. This is very important to remember and memorize. 97.5% 7.5% of water on earth is saline or salty or salt water. This water mostly found in oceans. Most or nine يعني almost all of water on earth, of salt water on earth, found in oceans. Okay? Only 2.5% of all water on earth is fresh water. Look at this figure. يعني this picture or this circle help you to understand. Look, all of this is saline water. 96.5 plus 1 equals 97.5. Okay, only this part in yellow is fresh water, 2.5%. Okay, so water that is saline. What is the meaning of saline water or salt water? That has large amounts of dissolved salts. The water that is saline, it contains large amount of salts that dissolved in it. طيب, for example, Mediterranean Sea is an example of a body of water that is made of saline water. By the way, seas and oceans are saline. طيب, now we want to see the distribution of fresh water on Earth. How fresh water is distributed on Earth. Notice that the majority of fresh water on Earth found where? In glaciers. What are glaciers? So glaciers are a slowly moving body of ice on land. Huge sheets of ice are called glacier. Notice that the majority of fresh water on Earth is frozen. Look, all of these, all of this found where? In glaciers. 68.7% of fresh water on Earth found in glaciers and ice caps. Then 30.1% of Earth's fresh water is found under the ground as groundwater. So, and only 1.2% of Earth's fresh water found at the surface in rivers, lakes, and so on. Okay, so what does this mean? That all of water on Earth, look, all of water on Earth, there is only very small amount that is available for us to drink. Notice that this water in the glaciers, yes, it is a fresh, but it is a frozen, so it is not available for us. Also, groundwater, 30% is under the ground. It is difficult. We can get it, but it is difficult. Who's talking? حسن تفضل.
نحفظ الأرقام تبعهم هون
لا, I want you to these numbers just.
Okay.
This number.
Yes.
And this number.
Okay.
Okay?
Mister.
طيب.
But why don't they melt the glaciers?
ايش سارة؟
Why don't they melt the ice?
Because ice in glaciers, you are talking about a huge amount of ice. You need, suppose that you want to melt this ice, you need a huge amount of energy, which is too expensive and which is too difficult. For example, glaciers, some sheets of glaciers larger than Irbit. They are very large amount of ice. You are talking about a huge amount of, you need a large amount of energy. Okay, طيب. Also, this figure shows how the surface the fresh water on the surface, how it is distributed. Notice that in even the fresh water, most of it found as ground ice and permafrost, okay? And some of it found in soil, and 20.9% in lakes. Also, a very small amount in rivers, in living things. Fresh water also found inside the bodies of living things, in the atmosphere, in the soil, in lakes, and as permafrost type. Now, so according to this, of course, there is a problem in fresh water. There always be where some countries suffer from water shortage. Type water. You have to know that a fresh water is not equally or evenly distributed or spread out. Some countries or some areas are rich in water or in fresh water. Other countries have a shortage. Okay? شو يعني shortage؟ شباب شو مالكم ساكتين؟
Nothing.
What is the meaning of shortage?
Nothing.
طيب shortage يعني نقص.
يعني small amount.
Yes, shortage نقص يعني when there is a shortage means that there is a little amount. Yes. Earth fresh water or fish water on earth is not evenly distributed or spread out. Some areas, such as Brazil's rainforests, get rain almost daily. Other areas, such as Chile's Atacama Desert, are dry all the time. In places like Nebraska, people rely on water pumped from aquifers, underground water supplies. Okay, طيب. Look here. When we are talking about the, in general, all over the world, worldwide, about 1 billion people, 1 billion people do not have access to clean water. Also, there is another problem that some water is polluted in some areas. Another 2.7 billion people do not have fresh water for at least 1 month a year, which is a problem. It doesn't mean that this month is respectively or continuous. They, in general, on average, 2.7 billion people do not have fresh water for at least 1 month a year. To help solve the problem, people build reservoirs, places to collect and store water. People build reservoirs such as dams to collect water. In Jordan, for example, Jordan is a poor country in fresh water. There are more than 10 dams in Jordan. They aim for this to collect water and store water. طيب, and scientists predicted that about 75% of Earth's people will have water shortages by 2025 or after 5 years. طيب. Another problem to the water shortage is water pollution, because there are contaminants or pollutants in water. Okay, this is another problem in water. Right, turn to the next lesson. Lesson 3 is talking about Earth's ocean. طيب, you have to remember that most of Earth is covered by oceans. Okay, most of Earth is covered by oceans. We have 5 major oceans on Earth: the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific, the Atlantic, the Antarctic Ocean. Who can remind me? في عبارة عن 2: the Pacific, the Atlantic, Indian Ocean, Antarctic Ocean, and Southern Ocean. Okay, طيب. No matter where Earth's water is located, it is in a system called hydrosphere. So all water on Earth is called hydrosphere. طيب. The hydrosphere can be divided into two main sections, as I told you. As we know, salt water, which is make the majority of hydrosphere is salt water, which makes 97.5%, and fresh water, which makes only 2.5%. So the hydrosphere can be divided into two main sections: salt water and fresh water. Salt water makes up about 97.5% of Earth's water. Many plants and animals, including humans, cannot use salt water. So we can't use this. Other 2.5% of water on Earth is found mostly in glaciers, ice caps, and groundwater, as you know. طيب. Although different sections of the ocean have specific names, they are all connected. You have to know that. سامعيني انتو؟ Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have only 5 minutes, 5 minutes remaining in this meeting. All oceans, Indian, Pacific, Atlantic, Antarctic, and so they are all of them are connected. طيب. Water, the movement of water in oceans, the water are always circulating. This is called circulation, or a swirling motion moves ocean water around the globe. All ocean water are always moving around the globe in a motion called circulation, in a pattern like this. طيب. The ocean is Earth's main water storage and the primary or most important source of water in the water cycle. The most important part of water cycle is the ocean water, because majority of Earth's water found in the oceans. طيب. This paragraph is talking about ocean temperatures. The sun's heat warms Earth's ocean water. Water temperature changes with latitude, okay, because of the angle of Earth axis. I want you to know that ocean water is hottest where? Near the equator, okay, because there are more sunlight there. And ocean water is coldest where? Near poles. So ocean water, ocean temperature is affected by the altitude. What is the meaning of latitude? It's the location. When ocean water is hottest or warmest near the equator and coldest near the poles. Okay? طيب. Also, ocean temperature is different in the ocean itself. Water always at the surface, water temperature at the surface is always the warmest because there are more direct sunlight. And it is coldest where? In deep. Water temperature also changes with ocean depth. Deep ocean water receives less sunlight and it is colder than surface water. Okay, so ocean water at the top or surface water is the warmest or the hottest, and deep ocean water receives sunlight and it is the colder or the coldest. طيب. You have to know that wind and waves stir up ocean water. Always ocean water is moving because of wind and waves. Also, currents move water along the surface and beneath it. Ocean water is also moved by tides. as you know, there are always low tides and high tides, and the tides are a result of what? Of gravity, of moon's gravity. طيب. Tides are the rising and falling patterns caused by the pull of gravity. So always ocean water is moving by wind, waves, currents, and tides. All of these can cause ocean water to move. Look, this is the motion or the motion of currents. Currents are always move in this direction, like this. طيب. Salinity. What is the meaning of salinity? It is the amount of salt dissolved in water. It is measured in units called what? Parts per thousand. Notice, look here, for example, here, the Indian Ocean, the average or the salinity of the Indian Ocean is 32 to 37 parts per thousand. Notice that it is the most saline in this table. Indian Ocean is the most saline. It is more than the Caribbean Sea, Arctic Ocean, Antarctic Ocean. So salinity means the amount of salt dissolved in water. How much salt dissolved in water, and the units are parts per thousand. شو عندكم بعد هاي الحصة؟
English.
English Mr.
طب يلا goodbye. Best wishes for the exam. أي يوم امتحانكم بيكون امتحان الساينس؟
بيكون يوم خميس
Last
Mr.
one.
شو التاريخ؟ which date؟ والله ناسي.
7-1 or 1-7.
The last exam.
يعني مطول هو صح. يلا goodbye. See you.
Bye.